People do, but from car to car. So you can sit with the people you come with, but they're asking you not to roam around. And of course, keep a mask on at all time. We've got our friends at 100.5. They'll be doing the music for tonight. And of course, it'll be synced up to the fireworks like it is every year. We've got 2 camera locations for you this year. One high atop the hotel on the 16th floor of the Agua Caliente Casino Hotel. We're going to strap Mike into a harness and put him on top of the roof, so he'll be broadcasting live throughout the fireworks show from the 16th floor. I will be across the street on the ground where it's safe and it's a much smarter place to be, and so we'll be able to give you 2 different views of the fireworks, and only one of us will be in mortal danger the entire time, and it'll be Mike, which I think we're pretty much all comfortable with. Anyway, so we'll talk to you at 6 o'clock. We'll talk to you again, and we'll tell you more about what's going to happen to Mike during our fireworks show live in Rancho Mirage. Gino Lamont, Olivia, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Gino. We're looking forward to seeing our chief meteorologist hanging from that harness a little later on. Mike, what do you got for our forecast today?
That's a very different description from the one that I received in the email earlier. I'm going to have a chat with Gino a little bit later. You know, he was mentioning hardy souls. Well, it is warm out there. Temperatures running about 4 or 5 degrees above average. We topped out at 112 today, currently 111 at Palm Springs International. That's not the big story, though. It seems like for the 5th year in a row, we've got those gusty winds out there coming in sustained at 20 miles an hour from the northwest. Gusts have been up to about 30 miles an hour already this evening, and it's dry out there as well. If you're visiting us from somewhere else, you're in the desert in Southern California. If you get one of those low, dull headaches, make sure you're keeping yourself well hydrated. A couple drinks of water or some Gatorade will do the trick there. Taking a look at our high temperature today, there it is. 112 is where we topped out. 107 is the 30-year average for today's date, but we have something to be thankful for. 120 is the record for today's date, set back in the late 80s. We were 3 degrees above average in the overnights as well. 79 is where we got to. 76 is the 30-year average. And believe it or not, back in 1956, we were 58 degrees. So let's talk more about those winds, because that is an issue. Everything you see here are sustained winds. So as we go to about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, you'll see those winds continue to stay gusty. In fact, right near the airport there, they'll be about 16 miles an hour right at 9 p.m. when those fireworks go off. Add about 10 miles an hour to that. That's where the gusts will be, about 25, 26 miles an hour. That's not a problem. In years past, we've been told that 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour is about the place where they start to get a little iffy and consider canceling. I don't think that'll be an issue at all tonight. Fast forward to about midnight, we'll get things back down into the single digits, and it's going to be a very pleasant evening. It's going to be warm, though. Again, 9 p.m., we will see temperatures that will finally be below 100 degrees. 97 is where we'll be in Palm Springs and at the airport and out in Rancho Mirage. We finally get ourselves into the upper 80s around midnight tonight, get ourselves into the mid 80s around 2 a.m. Looking at the next 3 days, your Comfort Air 3-day forecast is showing us, you guessed it, hot. 113 on Sunday and on Monday. We'll see the ridge of high pressure that's over top of us weaken slightly, get ourselves back down to a comfy 110. I'll tell you what your full 7-day forecast looks like coming up. Olivia?
All right. Thank you, Mike. Looking forward to that.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Let's take a look at our local COVID-19 numbers. Now, the county has stopped reporting these numbers on the weekends, so this is our Friday. Over 19,000 cases in Riverside County, over 5,500 of those here in the Coachella Valley, 479 deaths in the county, 130 here in our valley. Indio has the most cases in the valley with 1,509. Indio also now has the most deaths with 34. Don't panic, keep calm, and carry on. That's the message from Eisenhower Health. They wrote on Facebook they're experiencing the highest number of COVID-19 inpatients since the beginning of the pandemic. They also posted this picture with the caption, quote, "We stay here for you. Please stay home for us." Riverside County is now allowing online appointments for county-operated testing sites. Health officials continue to encourage residents, those with and without symptoms, to get screened for the virus. You can make an appointment at the website that's there on your screen. San Diego sees some crowded beaches for July 4th. Many beaches have closed across California, but not in San Diego County. The state closed beach parking lots, but that hasn't stopped hundreds from flocking to the beach this holiday weekend. Now, safety precautions are in place. Lifeguards are patrolling the coast, masks are being handed out, and there are signs telling visitors what is and what isn't allowed. And you can kind of see the opposite of that case in Los Angeles. Hiking trails and beaches were closed this weekend in anticipation of the holiday. Both hiking trails and beaches completely empty. Weird to see there. Those closures throughout the state are set to end after this weekend. The family of a Lake Elsinore man says he got sick and died of COVID-19 after going to a party. He even posted about feeling sick on social media, saying he regretted going to that gathering and was hoping to pull through. Kim Tobin spoke with his family as they're coping with his loss.
The most devastating part about this for the family was how fast it all happened. Their loved one got tested for COVID-19 on a Monday, found out he was positive by a Thursday, and then passed away a few days later on Sunday. That's 51-year-old Tommy Macias doing what he did best, making his family laugh. And now all they have to hold on to are memories.
He was my favorite person to talk to. I know that I could call him and talk to him about anything, and he would never judge me for anything. He would just listen.
His niece, Danielle Lopez, says he had been quarantined for months, but decided to go to a party in Lake Elsinore with friends a few weeks ago.
He thought he was okay to go out. He regretted that decision, obviously.
He told family that one of the people at the party later tested positive for COVID-19, exposing 13 other people, and then he tested positive as well. He even posted this on his Facebook, saying he was sick, wished he hadn't gone to the party, and hoped he would be able to survive. Just days later, he thought he was having complications with his diabetes, but was rushed to the hospital when he couldn't breathe.
They decided to intubate him. And that was he was maybe intubated for 2 hours before he passed away because they just couldn't get his oxygen levels to where they needed it to be.
The family says not being able to be by his side or say goodbye was the hardest part, and they hope others will take precautions, wear a mask, and stay home as much as possible.
I understand people want to go out. I understand it's summertime and I don't want to be cooped up in my house either, but it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. If this is not going to go away unless everybody cooperates and does what they need to do.
Kim Tobin, NBC4 News.
Coming up after the break, America celebrates another birthday, but coronavirus restrictions put a hold on celebrations around the country. Plus, experts warn about lighting fireworks while using hand sanitizer. We'll tell you why coming up next.
Ahead for us tonight, coronavirus reaches the president's inner circle. Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend testing positive. Will she quarantine, and is the president at risk? And the unique ways people are celebrating the 4th here and overseas. Those stories and more on Nightly News.
It's back, it's bigger, and it's better. The 4th of July Sell-a-thon is back at your Southern California Ford dealers. It's bigger. Get 0% financing for 72 months on most Ford vehicles. It's better than ever, but hurry. The 4th of July Sell-a-thon ends soon.
Save big on America's most recommended mattress, Tempur-Pedic, here at Mathis Brothers. For a limited time, save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets.
hammering home the message of wear your mask.
And some people did venture out to beaches, casinos, and Independence Day parties. Health officials fear the worst if people don't take the threat seriously.
But in general, eventually this is going to crush the healthcare system at the current rate.
With a surge in infections, will COVID-related deaths spike as well? Health experts say the next few weeks are pivotal. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Sanford, Florida.
President Trump holds a White House 4th of July celebration. Hundreds of people are gathered on the South Lawn for fireworks and music. A military flyover took place, and President Trump also spoke just a short while ago. This comes a day after the president attended an event at Mount Rushmore where he spoke, and fireworks were shot off for the first time in 10 years. President Trump has also signed legislation that extends the Paycheck Protection Program. Hours before it was set to expire last week, Congress passed the bill, sending it to President Trump's desk. Officials say nearly $130 million of PPP loans remain. Now, the deadline to apply for this program is now August 8th. Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend has tested positive for coronavirus. Kimberly Guilfoyle works on the president's campaign as a top fundraising official. A source says she hasn't interacted with the president recently, and Trump Jr. has so far tested negative. We have a lot more to come after the break, but first, send it over to Mike.
Hey, Olivia, we got some fair weather cumulus sitting over top of the San Bernardino Mountains, but otherwise those skies are clear and perfect for fireworks tonight. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast when we come back.
On July 4th, NBC brings you an awesome tradition. Macy's 4th of July Fireworks Spectacular, live
It's not you, it's it. It's going to be really, really cool. So something else to keep an eye on for tonight. As we go towards Monday, tracking another thing you may have noticed with those clear skies out there, there's some really bright stuff happening. Well, by the time we get to Monday, we're going to have another one of those events where the moon, which will be now on its waning portion, will be right near Jupiter and Saturn. If you look off towards the south, you'll see that. And then Mars will get in on the action as well. It'll be off towards the southeast. So lots of great stuff to see in the sky and nothing to obstruct your view of it. There is that big blue H letting you know where the high is. We'll see temperatures that will once again be warm tomorrow, but we will get that breezy evening flow and get ourselves a little bit of ventilation there. Coachella Valley, we're going to be seeing dew points in the mid 40s. Well, we saw that today, and then it gets even drier. When you get down into the 30s, you'll get that humidity down to about 5-10%. As I mentioned earlier, make sure you're keeping yourself well hydrated. 106 currently in Thousand Palms, 110 in Coachella, 94 in the Yucca Valley, a gorgeous 73 up in Big Bear. It's currently 87 in Idlewild, 90 in Banning. One of the things you need to be aware of near the coast, a high surf advisory in place. There will be some slight coastal flooding in places like Carlsbad and out towards Del Mar. That'll be in place until Sunday, and those winds we were talking about will back off nicely tonight, just in time for the fireworks. We start off in the low 80s tomorrow. We warm to 113, and those dew points are going to be dry as well. 115 in Indio, 103 in Joshua Tree, 79 in Big Bear. It's July in the desert, folks. We're going to stay in that range through Monday. Slight cooling takes us back to 109 on Wednesday, but it gets hot again next weekend.
Having the opportunity to experience the Palm Desert protests from an aerial view was absolutely
Fire experts warn of the dangers of using hand sanitizer while lighting fireworks. If someone is around an open flame with hand sanitizer on, their chances of catching their hands on fire increase dramatically. We'll be right back after the break.
It is said there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Perhaps the time has come to
the Walter Clark Legal Group.
Well, make sure to tune in tomorrow night. NBC Palm Springs is bringing you 3 straight hours of local programming. That's tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We've got a full hour of newscast, a brand new ODP, a new edition of NBC Cares Silver Linings, and a special version of the weekly rundown honoring our 2020 grads. That's 3 hours of local programming, once again, starting tomorrow at 5 o'clock right here on NBC Palm Springs. And don't forget to tune in for Agua Caliente Casino's live fireworks show tonight. You don't want to miss that. We're bringing it to you on our sister station, KPSC, at 9. You can also enjoy the show right here on NBC Palm Springs at 11. Have a great 4th of July, everybody.
Thanks to justice and liberty with our 50